What do you need to put in your bag for a day out at the Disney parks with a baby or a toddler? In this video, I'm going to chat you through everything that I plan to pack and take into the parks for our son on our upcoming trip. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Kay, and together with my husband Dan and our toddler Logan, I create lots of Disney, family, lifestyle and travel content. If that sounds up your street, then please give this video a wee like and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. So I recently shared with you all what I pack for a day in the Disney parks. So if you haven't checked that video out, then be sure to do that after this. But obviously we also have a toddler and he needs quite a few things to get through a day at the Disney parks. So I thought I would sit down with you all today and show you exactly what I pack for my son. So whether we're in a Disney park or we're adventuring closer to home, the bag that I choose to use for my son is this one. It's not an official changing bag, but it works really well for us. So what goes inside? So no surprises to anyone who has a child that is not yet potty trained, but obviously the first thing we'll be packing in our bag is plenty of nappies. Now we are a cloth nappy household when we're at home, but when we're on holiday we use disposables, as the last thing I want to be doing is laundry when I'm trying to have a great holiday. Now obviously I'll also be packing wipes and nappy bags, and I also like to just make sure I have some like sanitizing wipes as well, so that I can like wipe down any surfaces if we have any extra messes. Now preparing for the sun, I chatted about this in my last video, but obviously we'll be taking lots of sun cream. Now we use Aldi sun cream because it's really affordable. This is the spray-on kind, which our son is really great at having applied to him, and we'll have a bottle of this in both bags just in case one of them goes missing. We won't be stuck without sun cream for the day. Now other sun items we'll be taking, obviously we'll be packing a sun hat every day. This one is from Zara, but it was for sale quite a while ago and I got it on Vinted. We took this to Florida and lost it and managed to get it back. So this and a few other hats will be coming with us because I wouldn't want to rely on one for a trip because, as I say, they're very easily lost, but we'll be taking one into the park with us each day. In addition to this, I'll be packing Logan's sunglasses. I found these ones in Primark and thought they were super duper cute, and they came with this lovely little case as well, and these were just a few pounds. I will be packing other sunglasses as well. As I say, in case things get lost, I wouldn't want to rely on just one pair. Now obviously long days in the parks, we need to stay hydrated. We fill these up with water which we cool in our hotel room, and it keeps the water colder throughout the day. To make drinking water a little bit more toddler friendly, I will have one of Logan's trusted cups with me and this like diluting juice. Now this is like a super concentrated diluting juice. Robinson's does them and so do other brands, and basically add a squeeze of this to his cup and suddenly he's got juice and he's much more interested in actually staying hydrated and drinking throughout the day. Now obviously we're hoping for a perfect magical trip without any drama, but in reality we're going to Disney with a toddler and things can go wrong. Now if you followed our Disney World series, you'll be aware that Logan and I got quite unwell one day. Logan was very sick all over his clothes and we were caught out because we didn't have a full change of clothes on us. So this time when we go to the parks, I will be packing a light change of clothes just in case anything happens. On a similar note, in case Logan gets poorly, I always take this little like plaster kit with me. I think I said this in a previous video, but I still haven't had to crack this open yet. Hopefully it won't need cracked open in Disney, but it's good to just have like a graze kit like this. It has some antiseptic and some plasters and things in it just in case we need it, and this is super light. It's not like taking a whole kit with us to the parks. I also like to make sure that I have some Calpol sachets with me. It's much lighter than packing an entire bottle, but means if Logan does get poorly and he needs something immediately before we can get back to our hotel room, we have Calpol on us. Now I meant to mention this one when I was chatting about everything that I put in my own bag in our previous video, but I forgot. So I'm going to mention it here, but honestly do not go to a Disney park without blister plasters. We will be taking so many of these with us and they are an absolute godsend because guaranteed someone in your group is going to get a blister and is going to be very thankful for these. Now obviously we're going to be eating a lot of food in the parks, but there is zero guarantee that my toddler will want to eat any of it. So I would never go into the parks without a few of your toddler's favourite snacks. Now my son loves these oat bars and these puffs, so they're just some examples of the things that will be in our bag for a park day. It will obviously reduce the price of having to buy him really expensive snacks that he might not even eat, and also just reduce the amount of salt and sugar that he'll be eating over the trip. Now, this next one may be a little bit controversial, but it has proven to be so valuable for our family, and that is packing an iPad. Now, we don't use this while we're wandering around the parks, but I honestly wouldn't want to go for an expensive Disney dining reservation without this in my bag. Now, we did quite a lot of dining when we went to Disney World, and to be honest, most of the time our son did not need the iPad at all and was absolutely fine. But there were a few occasions when he was maybe a bit overstimulated by character interactions, or where the food was a bit slower, or where he just like wasn't in the best moods, where this just meant that we could actually eat our dinner and everyone could breathe, and it made a huge difference. So honestly, I would not be going to the parks personally without an iPad. Now, whether I'm going to the Disney parks or just out for the day, I always like to have just a couple of small, light, thin books in my bag as well. Now, if there's a situation where Logan doesn't necessarily need the iPad, but just needs like a bit of chill time and some concentration, then a couple of books has saved us from many a meltdown. Okay, so I think that's everything that I put in the backpack, but we also obviously take our buggy into the park every day. Now, I'll include a little bit of footage here, but we have the Jules Air Buggy. This buggy's kind of like a competitor to Yo-Yo, as they do like fold up really easily, quickly. They're really light and they're small enough to go in the overhead compartments of an aeroplane, which was one of the reasons that we bought it. But this is the buggy that we'll be taking into the parks with us every day as well. Now, one of my top tips when you're traveling to Disney with a buggy is to make sure that the storage compartment under your buggy has a big bag in it, and everything that is going to be stored under your buggy is kept in that big bag. Now, this was an absolute godsend for us when we figured this out, because especially if you're going to Disney World and you are using the park buses, you have to fold up your buggy to get onto the buses, which when you're focusing on getting your child out of the buggy and folding up the buggy and either putting over your shoulder or holding it, the last thing you also want to be doing is having to pull out a million things from under your buggy and then hold all of them to get onto the buses. So we just like hoik out the bag from the bottom of the buggy and then fold up the buggy and obviously take Logan out as well, and then it's just so much less stressful. The first day when we went to Disney World, we didn't do this and it was a little bit of a car crash trying to get onto the buses, but once we figured it out, it just made things so much easier. This also helps with security as well, as obviously they need to go through everything in your buggy, so it's much easier to just pull the bag out and be like, look, this is everything that's under the buggy. We will also be staying off site and we're going to be taking the train into Disneyland Paris this time, so making sure that everything is in one bag that we can just pull out from under the buggy will make it so much easier if we do need to fold up the buggy to get onto the trains as well. Okay, so what goes under the buggy? Now obviously we'll have our rain cover for the pram in case the heavens open, and we will also have our snooze shade. Now I feel like I have talked so much about our snooze shade, but it's honestly one of the best purchases that I've made since becoming a parent. It is basically a compact blackout cover for your buggy, and we use it for nap times. So we'll be taking that into the parks every day because we plan to do naps on the go. So I'll be keeping that under the buggy as well. So if it does rain when we're in Paris, I'll also be taking Logan's puddle suit. Now this is a really lightweight one. It doesn't have lots of layers under it, so it's really easy to just like wrap up and shove under the buggy. Now obviously for ourselves we'll be taking ponchos, but we have this already and it is the right size for a toddler, so I'll just be popping that under the pram as well. Now we won't be doing late nights with Logan because my mum is coming with us on the trip and she will be babysitting while we go back into the parks in the evening. But if you are going into the parks in the evenings with your babies and toddlers, then I definitely recommend an extra layer in case it gets a bit chilly in the evening, and even more so if you're hoping to like get your child to sleep at their normal-ish bedtime in a buggy out and about, then make sure you've got a cozy blanket as well. Another tip if you're staying late in the parks with your toddler is to pack some battery operated fairy lights. Now you can wrap these around the top of your buggy, and it means if you go and park your buggy up and then you go on a ride and you come back and it's pitch dark, then you'll be able to identify your buggy from afar. Now sometimes in the Disney parks the cast members will have to move your buggies, so this will help even more in those circumstances. Now day and night we'll also be packing a buggy sign with us. Now we add a bit of ribbon to this and then we just tie it to the handles of our buggy, and it does mean that if someone has a similar buggy to you, then they're far less likely to take it by mistake, and again it just helps you to identify your buggy from afar. Right, I think that might be everything that I pack in my toddler's Disney park bag. Now for the avoidance of doubt, it won't be my toddler that's carrying this bag, it will be me while my husband carries our personal items, so don't worry, my toddler won't be weighed down too much during the trip. I know it can be quite an overwhelming thought planning a trip to Disney with a baby or a toddler, but hopefully this has given you a bit of a head start into everything that you need to take. If you like this video, don't forget to pop us a wee like and subscribe for future videos. I have lots of content coming your way ahead of our Disneyland Paris trip, including full packing videos showing you everything that I'll be putting in our whole luggage for both myself and my toddler. But I think that's everything for now. Take care and I'll speak to you soon. Bye!